I think my 18-year-old child is pregnant. How do I approach? Throwaway, because I'm in Reddit circles where I don't talk about my child ever, plus for both our privacy. As far as I know, Casey doesn't use Reddit apart from those robot-voiced YouTube videos, lol light me, but if you do see this, I'm sorry. I love you. I just don't know who to talk to about this. As you can tell from the ages I had my child Casey, non-binary they/them, very young. I've been a single mom their entire life, and while I've never let them know how hard it really was when they were little, they're definitely aware that it was a bad situation that I didn't want for them when they grew up. I know that I am a success story because I was able to go to university and build a comfortable life for us, but I didn't try to glamorize it because I wanted Casey to have a life of their own before taking care of another one. When they were a young teenager, I really preached safe sex, telling them you have a uterus, you can get pregnant, if you're going to do it please just be safe. We are incredibly close, and there's very little we don't share with each other. I keep more to myself as the parent obviously. Casey has always confided in me if something was wrong, or even if they just wanted to talk. As soon as they started struggling with their identity they came and told me, and I was just so happy that they knew they could trust me with it. I've been there through all their school struggles, I know all their friends, I met their significant others. This is a long way of saying that there's no reason for them to hide this from me, and I don't know why they haven't told me. I've had thoughts that Casey could be pregnant on and off for a couple of months, but it only really hit me in the past few weeks that I could be right. The only early sign I can think of was what we thought was a really bad food poisoning in September. They were actually hospitalized for dehydration, but we'd had a takeaway the night before and Casey's had been a bit questionable. As far as I'm aware they weren't sick after that. I started questioning it properly when I noticed that we weren't running out of menstrual products as quickly, but I thought they were probably using the ones at their sixth form since they're spending so much time there prepping for exams. I finally had the realization about a week ago. Casey is an oversized jumper person, but we were going somewhere nice for my birthday, so they were wearing a dress, and I thought their tummy looked a bit bigger. I didn't say anything because I don't want to spark eating disorder behavior. Also we're both quite thin, but maybe they gained weight and they just carry it differently. I think a few days later they were playing on the floor with the cats and their top rode up and my heart just plummeted when I saw a definite bump and the line you get on your tummy when you're pregnant. If they noticed that I noticed, they haven't acted any differently since then. The only way I can describe it is that I felt my heart sink. Not even because they're probably pregnant, because they didn't tell me. I will support them no matter what. It might be too late to terminate, but if they want to keep the baby or give it up, I'll be there for them. I just can't think why they wouldn't come to me. Is it somehow possible that they don't even know? What if they're somehow not pregnant and I just wreck our relationship by asking them? I don't know what to do. I just want them, and baby, to be safe and get the right care and for them to know I love them. Update 1. Thank you for all your comments. I'm glad I posted because I really needed the outside perspective. Also, I did ask Casey and they said isn't Reddit for trading stocks, so do with that what you will. My kid is much funnier than I am. I ended up going to Casey right after I posted and just asking them. I said something like, I've noticed some changes about you. Is there anything you aren't telling me? I promise I will support you no matter what happened, but I just need to know what's going on, not mentioning the pregnancy specifically because I wanted them to open up by themselves. Casey broke down in tears and we had a long cry and cuddle before they told me everything. I won't be disclosing some of the details about how they got in this position for their privacy. They are pregnant and weren't sure how far along, but knew they were quite far now. I thought they looked 6 to 7 months. Then we did a home fundal height test and felt the uterus high up on their tummy, over halfway, and measured 29 to 31 centimeters, which was a shock to them since they thought they were only 5 months. They've known for a while, but tried to ignore it, knowing that early miscarriages are common and they might not have to tell me. They said they knew they had to do it soon because they couldn't hide their bump anymore and they were really scared now, so I'm glad I asked them when I did. We managed to get an emergency midwife appointment because they're so young and so far along without any prenatal care, and they got a scan straight away for dates, etc. I'm glad they did because a lot of the fear just evaporated when we heard the heartbeat and saw her wriggling around. We found out they're 30 weeks, with a normal, healthy baby girl. We both cried during the scan and then again in the car. I felt incredibly guilty that I didn't notice my child was 7 months pregnant and apologized for not asking them sooner, so they were hiding it for longer. Now that they aren't hiding it, I don't know how I didn't see it because their bump is quite big and not easily hidden. I keep telling myself that they were trying very hard to hide it from me and spending lots of time at school, but I don't know. I'm just trying to reassure myself that Casey and baby are both healthy and think about all the million things we have to do before she's born. I made sure they knew it was their decision and I would help them with whatever they chose, and they told me they wanted to keep the baby. I knew this was going to be the answer and was already coming to terms with it before I even talked to them. Baby is probably going to arrive right before their final exams, so I'm going to fight to make sure they have the best chance possible at school. They're deferring a year before university anyway, so it could be a much worse situation. My baby is about to have a baby no matter what, but I'm going to make sure they're okay. So it's been a surreal day for both of us. Seeing your child suddenly being very pregnant and knowing you're going to be a grandmother at 35 is a lot to process. I'll update if anything major happens, and we'll probably keep using this account for other support, but I think we're going to be alright. Update 2. Hello. I posted quite a lot when I found out my 18 years old, was pregnant and dropped off for a while because things got very busy. I'm so happy to say that baby arrived 3 days ago, and we've been very grateful for all the support, so I have permission to share a bit of the birth story. At 36 weeks, Casey's waters broke first thing in the morning. I was more shocked than they were because I didn't think they actually exploded like that in real life. They'd had mild contractions on and off all night and got stronger after the waters went, so around 12 we went off to the hospital. They were a trooper throughout the labor and didn't even ask for gas and air, which shocked me, and baby was born just after 10. Casey actually helped catch her when she came out and cut her cord themselves. She's a tiny little 6 pounds 8 ounces, but very strong and healthy, and I honestly think the baby hormones are contagious because I was an absolute wreck. The midwife team was incredible. The one who was taking care of them while pregnant was there the whole time and actually had a little cry with me in the hallway after baby was born. We put a sign on the door with the birth plan, Casey's pronouns, etc., and there was no misgendering whatsoever, even by accident, apart from one nurse who didn't know because the sign had fallen down and really apologized when she found out. I had to go home a few hours after baby arrived, and I'll admit I cried the entire time I was away. Thankfully my kid is incredible and kept sending me photos of Bub's little squishy face and were horrified about what feeding feels like and the size of the pads they were given XD. We've all been home since this morning and it's been magic. I didn't think I'd say Casey is a natural parent, but they really are. It's like they just fit together. I know it'll get harder, but they're in a little bubble of just feeding and sleepy cuddles right now, and I've never been prouder of them. I always knew they would be just fine, but seeing it manifest now that baby's actually here is amazing. I love them so much. Thank you for all the support and LT, 3.
That's where the story ends. Please consider subscribing to keep up to date on this post and other daily Reddit content.